Hello, everyone, and welcome to the weekend. It's time for another fantastic episode of SEGA Sonic Radio, jam-packed with requests, jam-packed with Spinbox. So much Spinbox that we're not going to get right into the music. We're actually going to do one before we start proper. I'm your host, as always, GX, aka Chris, aka the Spin Dash, and our theme this week is Dark Side Story. Hey, 2 weeks ago it was Hero Side Story. Hey, we're going dark this time. The soundtrack of heroes, or of anti-heroes, and maybe some villains. And with that, let's jump into our first question for the evening. This one comes to us from Shadow Was Here. Due to how fast I had to put this episode together, there are no images for the Spinbox. Thank you for understanding. Silver Was Here asks, what Sonic game do you think would have been better if it was simpler? A Sonic game that would have been better if it was simpler. I would say there's a degree to which I think Unleashed would have been. Unleashed has just a few more things than it really needs. It just has, like, there's a couple mechanics in it that it kind of plays into, but just feels absolutely unnecessary. Things like collecting medals. I think its level up system is just I would also say that basically every current mobile game that Rovio has their hands in needs to be simpler. I think they push way too hard on just having all manner of currencies and menu choices and reward systems where it's like you go to the main menu and, like, half the time you're not even playing the game. Half the time you're just messing with the menu that manages how rewards are handled. So I would go with, you know, either Unleashed or, you know, I would, what it would be, Rumble and Blitz are the ones that are just sort of in a pre-release limbo at the moment. I'd go with them. Like, I look at Dash and I look at Speed Battle, and those ones are fine. Like, their meta progression is, like, simple enough that it's like, okay, I just have to look here, and it's anything I need to worry about is there, and it's good. And then it's good to go. It's good to go. What else is good to go are some requests coming from Silver Was Here. They asked for Throw It All Away from Sonic X Shadow Generations. And there are two versions of that. Technically, there are three versions of that song in the game. But thankfully, one of them is only 46 seconds long, so we're just going to play both. Enjoy! I'll see you guys on the other side. Hi, all. Hi. That was... Yeah. That was Throw It All Away, Sonic Adventure Music Experience version, as requested by Silver Was Here, as well as Throw It All Away retrospective version, which probably would be equally requested by them. I don't know which. OBS is deciding to be really weird on me. That was also collaboration Dark Cool from Sonic Rumble. Wrapping it up with Streets of Gotham from Batman the video game. Hey! It's been a challenging night. We got a late start. And then my hard drive filled up and I couldn't do anything. So I had to switch hard drives in the middle of the show. And then other stuff happened. And on top of that, I'm also incredibly tired. The Switch 2 came out today. Actually, the Switch 2 came out last night. I went out to Best Buy last night at like 11 o'clock. Got there by 11:30. Waited in line for like, I'm gonna say 40 minutes. I got a Switch 2, which wasn't even one that I was going to keep. That one was for a friend that I was going to have to then wake up at like 8:30 a.m. today in order to head down to FedEx to ship it to them. Then basically had about 20 different errands, got home at about 1 o'clock after running all over the dang place. I have enjoyed my Switch 2 long enough to begin the system transfer and tell it to stop automatically downloading every Switch game I have because I don't have an SD card in the thing. So it's been a day. And then on top of that, you know, just... this show takes a long time to put together. After I finish, I am really, 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 really looking forward to actually getting to start Mario Kart. Oh, but first, we have a show, and more importantly, we have a quiz. It's time for the Quizone. If I must suffer, so must you all. Although this one's not too difficult a one. I anticipate that a lot of you will probably get this one. So, let's go ahead and hide chat. If you want to hide chat and don't want spoilers, you could do that as well. If you want to guess in chat, you're allowed. I'm not going to stop you. It's just fun. It makes for fun things. Go ahead and guess if you want. Trivia question is this. In Sonic Adventure 2 Security Hall, whose face appears on the money that is above the fans? I believe this also appeared on a semi-recent video on Sonic's official Japanese YouTube. They discussed it there or had like a short or something. Maybe you can tap into that knowledge if you did that. But here's some music, and after it's done, I'll tell you the answer. Enjoy. Hey, that was I'm a Spy from Sonic Adventure 2, the theme of Security Hall. Once again, that question is, in Sonic Adventure 2's Security Hall, whose face is on the money that appears above the fans, and as Maxi Bun Buns was quickest to get it, almost immediately, the answer is Sonic's face, which is particularly funny because they are very, very clearly American dollar bills, which, I mean, generally speaking, you wouldn't want to, like, put that texture in a game, probably? But also, it's so resolution that it's like, well, who cares? But yeah, it's, for some reason, Sonic's face is on all of the money there in, Gun Headquarters, but also the money is, like, flying in fans within that vault. It's hard to say why. It feels like it's making some sort of statement by doing that, but I have no clue what. Like, government overspend, like, frivolous government spending or something? I don't know. It's bizarre. It's a bizarre choice, but, like, it's certainly one of the more whimsical stages in Sonic Adventure 2 in that regard. But yeah, that was our Quizone. But again, we've got so many questions that we're going to kick it off with our next question. This one coming in from MFA. Could the hard-boiled heavies return in a Superstars-like game? I took some liberties with the phrasing for simplicity's sake. I guess my question to that is, like, when will we get another Superstars-like game? When will they make another attempt at classic Sonic after how Superstars underperformed? That's kind of the concern I have. I'd say probably not in a Superstars-like platformer, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see them in other places in the way that we tend to, you know, see characters pop up in, like, hey, we need to fill out a roster, we need to reference things. Some of the data leaks surrounding Sonic Blitz have at least suggested it's the same thing. Well, like, I don't want to put too much faith in this because it's the same degree of leak that, like, oh, Sally's in Blitz or something like that. Like, there's text strings referencing them, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they will be in the game. But they seem more probable to put in a card game. But it's the kind of issue where, yeah, I like the hard-boiled heavies, but they kind of had their story. Like, they kind of had their in-game story, their in-game arc be told, where it's like, well, Eggman had this crew who got affected by the Ruby something. I don't know, not a Chaos Ruby, it's whatever the Dimensional Ruby, whatever. And they went against him, and then there were some comic stories where it was like, oh, they're back, and they're also going to still pursue their own things. Like, in terms of characterization, I think there could be good stories to be told with them. I just don't know how many good stories they could continue to tell with them in the form of, like, 2D platforming games, because they kind of serve as, hey, great strong Eggman henchmen, but also ones that may not necessarily be entirely loyal and may have their own self-interests. It's a neat dynamic. Didn't hear that, but some thunder just hit around me, so if the stream goes out again, it's because I might have had another power outage, which is very on track with where things are going tonight. Anyway, that's it for Spinbox for now. We've got MFA's request here, so enjoy some Sonic Mania adventures. And we'll be back on the other side.
steps back on me. Can you see all of me? Walk into my mystery. Step inside and hold for dear life. Do you remember me? Capture you and set you free. I am all of me. I am. Try to see through me, do it if you dare. One step forward, two steps back on me. Can you see all of me? Walk into my mystery. Step inside and hold for dear life. Do you remember me? Capture you and set you free. I am all of me. Can you see all of me? Walk into my mystery. Step inside and hold for dear life. Do you remember me? Capture you and set you free. I am all of me. I am.
Hey, that was Big Arms, as requested by MFA, followed by The Funk Goes On, a Yakuza track from Project Cross Zone 2, wrapping it up with I Am All of Me from Quart X Game, as requested by Quart X Games from Shadow the Hedgehog. Hey, if you're watching the video version and you're watching and you notice that the background is hitching, yeah, I think that's related to some technical issues and the point in which I had to change hard drives, because right now I am both reading and writing to the same hard drive, which is probably not great. It's an SSD, so that's slightly better, but probably not ideal. But what is ideal is that we've got another Spinbox question. Sonic Trainer asks, Hero Garden or Dark Garden? I respect Dark Garden, and its weird lava/blood pool. I think where I fall is, if I had to continuously on loop listen to the Dark Garden music in its minor key for too long, I would go insane. I think just on that alone, I would probably go Hero Garden. Hero Garden's a bit of an... Yeah, I'd say Hero Garden's weird to kind of work around because it has that sort of pillar in it that, like, you could go to where it has this sort of half of a bridge that if you're looking for a particular Chow, you kind of have to figure out, like, did they go up there? Are they under it? Are they hiding under it? Where are they? So it can be a little bit more, you know, annoying, but I gotta go with the one with the music that I can stand for an extended period of time. We've got a Sonic Trainer request, and we're heading back to Sonic Adventure 2 with this song, as well as a request. No, oh, no, that's the only request this segment. But there's good songs that aren't requests here. Enjoy. See you guys in a bit. Hey, welcome back. That was Fly in the Freedom as requested by Sonic Trainer, followed up by Foul Water Falls from Mario Land Shake It, wrapping it up with Gun Fortress from Shadow the Hedgehog. I think it's about time that we get back to our quiz board, so let's go ahead and take a look at our audio cue here in the middle of the show. Your audio cue is what game from a Sega-owned franchise is this song from? And I gave you a hint for this one. A really big hint, because I don't know if anybody else would get this without the hint. What game from a Sega-owned franchise is this song from? This 2023 prequel was not developed or published by Sega, but it is a Sega-owned franchise. As always, you can guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, you certainly do not have to. We'll let you know the answer after the song. Catch you in a bit. Hey, once again, that question was, what game from a Sega-owned franchise is this song from? It's a 2023 prequel, not developed or published by Sega, and Rusty in chat was the first one to notice it. It is indeed Bayonetta Origins, Cereza and the Lost Demon. This particularly, Friendship Illuminates the Gloom. It's a bit of a departure from the what you would expect from the Bayonetta series, rather than being a high intensity platinum style beat 'em up. It still has action elements, but it has more of a, we'll say, very stylized storybook aesthetic, documenting the early life of Cereza before she, I believe, if I remember correctly, inherited the title of being Bayonetta, as well as how she got her, I guess you'd call it a familiar, her companion, the big vicious plush. But it seems neat. It didn't get a lot of attention whenever it launched, and I can't speak too much of it directly, if only because I have not played much of any Bayonetta games. But it seems really neat, and I would like it to give it a try. Speaking of which, actually, on a similar note, hey, if you do have a Switch 2, people have much better things to say about Bayonetta 3 compared to when it launched on the Switch 1. If you play it through the backwards compatibility, apparently it is one of the games that really gets a performance boost. Not because they did a lot of extra things to it to put it on Switch 2, but just because Switch 2's performance overhead just allows it to run at a much more reasonable frame rate. So, if you're a Bayonetta fan and you held off for Bayonetta 3 for technical reasons, it sounds like Switch 2's the way to go with it, even through backwards compatibility. We got another quick Spinbox for you. This one comes from Clara the Cat, who asks, if the 3DS version of Sonic Generations had levels from Sonic's other handheld adventures, the Game Gear and Game Boy Advance games, and not as console games, would it have done better in your opinion? So, there could be better financially, or better critically, or just better thought of within, like, the fan base, and I would say probably not for any of them. Maybe it could do a little bit... The possibility exists that it could do a little bit worse, just based on, not as many people are going to be familiar with the Game Gear and Game Boy Advance levels. There are some of them that I really love the aesthetics of, but it's just not as obvious. Now, the one thing I will say in regard to it is not if it will be better or not, but one of the claims that I'm trying to remember, but I believe it was Izuka who said it, was that my brain's not working right. That basically, hey, he said, well, for the portable one, we're going to draw inspiration from the portable games to make that. And no, they didn't. Like, they really did not draw that much inspiration for the portable games. So, I guess my reaction is, if we want that statement to be true, then they probably should have drawn more from the handheld games. Or they should have just not said that statement. And said, no, this is just gonna have different levels. So, yeah, I mean, it would be neat to see some of those. Like, I would not complain. I think it would be thematically interesting. But, I just don't think that it would inherently change a whole lot in regard to, like, how that game is seen long-term. Like, it's fine. It's a fine version of those. It is, I would say, lesser than the original, but I think as a portable 3DS platformer, it's still a fun time. What else is a fun time is we've got Clara's request here, as well as one from Hasbo.me. And let's take a listen, starting off with some Sonic Battle. See you on the other side. Hey, welcome. Ooh, jeez. What was that? Hey, welcome back. That was Battle Highway from Sonic Battle, as requested by Clara the Cat. Followed up by Heist Planning from The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, and Metamorphoser from Pulse Man. Dude, that is a mouthful. Yeah, I always like having Pulse Man stuff. A Game Freak game from before they were the dedicated Pokemon developer. Not that they don't make non-Pokemon games. They actually make plenty of Pokemon games, usually to try out different mechanics and get people on board and stuff. But they have a lot of neat stuff. I think one of their most recent ones that is a really neat game is Pocket Card Jockey. Originally a 3DS game, found a sort of remake or redo on Apple Arcade, and then recently got ported to other things. At least the Switch 2. I don't remember if it was anything else. Let's go ahead and jump over to our next quiz, which I did wrong. Ooh. Did I do this right? No, we just had a thing, didn't we? No, we don't have a quiz yet. We'll have a quiz in a little bit. No, we have requests is what we have. We have requests from Alex, and we have requests from Otwol. And we're going to listen to those, and then we'll have a quiz. How's that sound, everyone? I'm just kidding. I'm not actually giving you guys a choice in this matter. That's how we're doing it. Here's Pinball Carnival from Sonic Superstars. See you guys in a bit. Hi, welcome back. That was Pinball Carnival Zone Act 2 as requested by Alex, followed up by Battle with Egg Dragoon Mark II from Sonic Forces. Wrapping it up with Mystic Cave Zone from Sonic 2, requested by Oddwall. Oh yeah, I could see that comparison, Rusty. That one makes a bit more sense than comparing it to the other song. Speaking of the other song, it's time for a Triple Trouble. Do I have... I'm looking at my songs. Do I have more songs than I should this time? 1, 2... Maybe I do. Maybe, given everything else that has happened so far... I don't know. I'm looking at my playlist. We've got 3 more segments here, so... I think I have miscounted. That's okay. We're gonna continue. Let's keep going. Triple Trouble. 3 of these things have something in common. One of them does not belong. Use the clue to help you. Use the theme to help you. It will guide you to an answer. Your theme this week is Sonic Forces levels. We're heading back to Sonic Forces classic music. Someone in chat's not going to love that, but we're going to do it anyway because I like it. And I'm in charge. Your 4 choices are Chemical Plant, Imperial Tower, Network Terminal, and Spaceport. One of the 4 here does not belong, but the other 3 have something important in common. See if you can guess. Guess in chat if you want. If you don't want to guess in chat, you don't have to. You can always minimize chat to avoid spoilers. And we'll let you know the answer when it's done. In the meantime, here's Chemical Flow from Sonic Forces. This is the song of Chemical Plant. That doesn't mean that the answer is Chemical Plant. It might be, but it doesn't mean it has to be. Enjoy. Hey, welcome back. Once again, the Triple Trouble is Sonic Forces levels. And your choices are Chemical Plant, Imperial Tower, Network Terminal, and Spaceport. As Maxi Bun Buns brings up in chat, it is indeed... Did it not? Did it? Oh, that's how tonight is just going for me. It is Imperial Tower. It should be showing Imperial Tower. It's not showing Imperial Tower. And yes, the thing that these have in common are that basically Chemical Plant, Network Terminal, and Spaceport are all Chemical Plant stages. They're all built off the Chemical Plant assets, where Imperial Tower is considered an Eggman Empire fortress, as was stated here. But yes, it is showing the right screenshot there. Thank you, Maxi Bun Buns. And it's giving you the answer down below. But my coloring guide is not set up properly tonight, and I'm frustrated why. But what else can we do? Also, as brought up in chat, yeah, every time that Orbot and Qbot appear on screen, their scores update. And one of them, you will notice that one of them goes up a certain direction in a certain amount, while the other one goes in a different direction and other amounts. So we go, we hide, we return. We hide, we return. We hide, we return. Magic, the magic of JavaScript. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful language. Some say French is the language of love. I say JavaScript is the language of love. It's also the language of deep frustration when things decide that context isn't what you think it is. We also, because we have so much in the Spinbox this week, we have a question from Kiana the Hedgehog, who asks, which emotional Shadow moment was your favorite and why? Which is a tough one, because I am distinctly not a Shadow fan. And which isn't to say that I cannot like Shadow stuff. There are some certain things I do, and I will talk about them. I think the frustration I tend to have with Shadow as a character is I, generally speaking, reject the very mid-2000s grimdark seriousness that they always give to Shadow. Like, for me, the problem is the emotional moments have to be earned. And one of the biggest issues I have with Shadow is, and so I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna try to explain it. So just don't freak out when I say this. I don't think Shadow is a Sonic character. Now, okay, now's the part where you don't react too quickly and you give me a chance to explain. Shadow is a character who does not really interact with Sonic characters. They go out of their way. Anyone who writes for Shadow goes out of their way to not have him react or interact with a lot of other Sonic characters. He's usually, like, on his own. Even when he's part of a team, it's not like he is communicating with the team in a meaningful way. It just kind of feels like he exists doing his own thing and doesn't really get significant development because of it. Because, you know, the way that you develop a character significantly is that you have them go through experiences, you have them communicate with other characters, you have them bounce off and interact with other characters. It's the kind of thing where, like, you can understand Vegeta as a character really well because they lay out, like, his arc through this. He comes in as someone who is he's a character who's constantly underfoot, who believes that by his birthright and, you know, by his innate talent, that he deserves to be in the positions that he is, that he deserves to be treated as the best. But then he meets people who either have more talent than him or have worked harder at it than him, and it desperately irks him and pushes him to actually become the stronger character he needs to be. For me, what I want out of Shadow is I just want him to have reactions that would make sense, interactions that would make sense with other Sonic characters. And with that, I would say my favorite moments with Shadow are from Sonic Prime. I think Sonic Prime is the best Shadow we've ever had, because it's a Shadow that makes... it's a Shadow that is forced into a circumstance where he has to who he has to engage with Sonic on both sides of the issue. That he has to be both cooperative with Sonic and does not inherently trust Sonic. Like, the beginning of that is he gets into conflict with Sonic because he understands, and rightly so, that Sonic is reckless, that Sonic makes dumb mistakes, that Sonic is going to probably screw something up. And his attitude is, no, I'm going to nip this in the bud, I'm going to do this my way, the correct way, so that, you know, bad stuff doesn't happen. And guess what? Sonic gets through, and bad stuff happens. And then when he goes through, Shadow's... But then also you have the other side of it where Shadow's version of handling 9 is that Shadow is going to take a direct approach. Shadow is going to defeat him in the most direct and conventional sense. And Sonic's attitude towards it is, no, I can reach him. I can be the positive force. I can get through to him. I can get through to this character who was formed by constant cynicism, but my sincerity can push through and get to him. And I know a lot of people do not love the way that the tone of Sonic Prime, but to me, I think the themes of Sonic Prime are some of the best that the series has ever had. I think it beats a lot of the stuff in IDW. I think in terms of theme and in terms of messaging and building a story around having a theme, I think Sonic Prime is stronger at it than even, like, the Archie comics. Honestly, as much as I don't care for the Paramount films, I think they are also very good at building around themes. Once you get, like... With the exception of the first one, I think the second movie is very good at building around a theme. Building around characterization and building around character development. And I distinctly appreciate that. And I think I would probably appreciate that if I saw the third movie, which I'm sure I eventually will. And I will probably think that they did a good job with Shadow in some way, shape, or form, but that would also require me to want to watch the third movie, which I have not yet, and we'll see if I will sometime in the future. Speaking of the future, we've got Keanu's request here, as well as one from Kat over on the Discord. So enjoy some more Sonic X Shadow Generations, and we'll be back after this.
Just who am I? Scan horizons, a tragic mystery. You could have left me here, still inside the blood. No one would ever know the chaos control. My true identity, the power that is me. We are destined fire, trapped in this machine. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman's watching. We are destined fire, looking through the screen. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman watches. With words in the fight, electric lives, change surroundings, a chilling history. A treasure disappears as she goes, miss her as you look away, and no one knows. This power is a key, this power changes me. We are destined fire, trapped in this machine. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman's watching. We are destined fire, looking through the screen. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman watches. One, two, three. You didn't know, now I'm gonna show you the power that is me. You try to take me down, stop the show. Seems you've never tasted fear, a loss of control. The power lives in me, the power that is me. We are destined fire, trapped in this machine. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman's watching. We are destined fire, looking through the screen. Don't know how long we've waited, as the Eggman watches.
Hey, welcome back. That was Vengeance is Mine, RBU Remix from Sonic X Shadow Generations, as requested by Keanu the Hedgehog, followed up by Versus Headlock from Grand Prix Mode in ARMS, wrapping it up with This Machine from Sonic Heroes, as requested by Cat. Oh, we got a bit more to go tonight. We've got, I think 2 more segments. Yeah, we do. I'm trying to look at this and figure out, like, okay, what can we reasonably do? We might go later than normal. We're already later than normal because we got a longer start, but yeah, it is what it is. But we're gonna go to the Spinbox, because Knuckles has a question. Knuckles on staff asks, what is an animal that you want to see turned into a Sonic character? And I had to think about this for a while, although he sent it like a couple hours back. Send them earlier, Knuckles. I talk to you on a regular basis. It helps me when I have time to work with this stuff. I want... So there's an animal, and it's called a mantis shrimp. So the thing about a mantis shrimp in actual real life is it has an appendage that it can punch with. And this punch that a mantis shrimp can perform is so powerful, it's compared to a .22 caliber bullet. It could, it literally uses this to break shells, to, like, punch the, like, there are videos online of, like, it punches the claw off a crab, just with the impact. It could break the glass of an aquarium if it punches it. I think that would make an entertaining Sonic character. A character who has just an absolutely ridiculously powerful punch. Like just an absolutely nonsense punch. And yeah, like, it can, like, ionize... I forget if it, like, ionizes the water around it. It's absolutely insane. Like, just as an animal, like, it's a crazy animal to begin with, but then deciding, like, no, that's a character and it has a superpower. Like, it has an obvious superpower. Like, you don't need to think that hard about it. It's like, I don't know, it's a big tough guy. It's like, no. It's like a little guy that has a punch that could destroy a building. Like, we're talking One Piece levels of power. Like, just stupid levels of power. That'd be neat. I think that'd be fun. What else would be fun is having another request, and we've got requests coming at you from Knuckles himself and the Karma Collector. Let's start it off with some Knight's Journey of Dreams, and I'll catch you guys on the other side. Hey, welcome back. That was Knights in Riala theme of Tragic Revenge from Nice Journey of Dreams, as requested by Knuckles87, followed up by Egg Factory from Sonic Riders, wrapping it up with Highway in the Sky from Sonic X Shadow Generations, Teddy Lloyd and June Snow remix. And as brought up, there actually is, yes, Rusty, I do remember, and specifically, the official album of this does have the trailer version of this song, because it is from the trailer, because, you know, it is the first level of the game, of Shadow Generation specifically, yes. I do remember. It is important. And no, I don't, honestly, I don't have particularly good editing. What I can do is, I can press a button, and the button does this. Well, it doesn't do this. It does this. I press a button. Press. It'll change on its own whenever the video clip is up, but I can also make it do what I want. On a beat. Back to the studio. Yeah. I think we still have some Spinbox. I'm gonna reach my hand in and fish in. I think we have one more set of songs and one more set of tracks. Last one comes in from Young Sonic Fan. What would you change in Sonic Forces and why? I personally feel better about Sonic Forces than I would say most fans do. I don't hate Sonic Forces. There's parts of it I really like. I would say of a lot of the people on staff, or at least I wasn't on staff whenever it came out, but I was on the Sonic Talk podcast, and I was about the only person who was like pretty reasonably positive on it, and I still kind of hold that to this day. I think about, like, the stuff I like about it are, I think it's good that it has, I think it's good that it just has a lot of smaller levels. I think that makes for better, more interesting level design. Now, admittedly, having short levels also means that you have to do some other things to it to really account for that, like have a lot of them, or, you know, just have a game that doesn't take 2 hours to beat. or to go up against, like, the thing that I would change most. The stuff I do not like is the degree to which Sonic Forces just automates so much of the game. I don't like that in the middle of, like, if the levels are going to be so short, then don't stop in the middle of them to have this sort of automated section where it's like, well, we need to show the avatar swinging like Spider-Man a whole bunch of times that you don't really get to engage with. You don't get to have this segment where all you do as Sonic is just press an A button to complete a QuickTime event to jump on a spaceship. Like, if you're gonna have short stages, make sure that the player is engaged all of the time. That's important to do if you're going to have stages like that. Or, you know, a structure like that. Obviously, like, hey, level design needs some improvement. Like, there's definitely some levels in that game that are like, you know, this is pretty fun, versus ones that are just like, no, this is an absolute stinker. This is running to the right and occasionally using your Wispin and not really doing much more than that. But honestly, it's just like, hey, just keep the player engaged more. Keep the player engaged more. Maxi, is Iron Fortress the one with the constant laser following you? That's the one. I think that's the one. Classic Sonic and auto-scroller do not mix? Yeah, maybe a bit. Yeah, I could understand why that would be frustrating. Although that was Avatar, wasn't it? Avatar was Iron Fortress, I thought. I don't know. I don't remember the names of these. There's two. Oh, Imperial Tower has the laser. Yeah, that makes more sense, sure. I get it. I understand. Yeah. Yeah. Sonic Forces needs a second pass. Honestly, okay, here's the real take. Here, you want the real hot take for Sonic Forces. Do not have Sonic in that game. Have the entire game be the Avatar. Build out the level up system for that. Make it so that you're constantly getting new abilities for that, or different types of configurations you can have for the Avatar character. Because it feels like the Avatar character just has so much... Like it feels like the effort in the game was put into the Avatar character, and then Sonic and Classic Sonic are just kind of there too, I guess. But it's not like Sonic and Classic Sonic have these level-up systems. It's not like they have the cosmetics that you can get for them. It's not like they can use the Wispin system. It's weird that you just have 1/3 of the game that has all of these features that they built, and the other two are just like, oh, Sonic and other Sonic. That said, the final moment, the very, very silly moment, the very end of it, the final scene where you have defeated or you are fighting the final boss, and you just have the two Sonics and the Avatar running together in unison, is a very silly but very awesome image that I enjoy quite a lot. Speaking of a very silly but very enjoyable thing coming up, hey, young Sonic fans, set in a request, and that request is from the game Shadow the Hedgehog. Plus, we got 2 more songs in our final set of songs. Hope you enjoy. Here's some Shadow the Hedgehog.
Tragedies and everything that comes our way. Determination of the strong. Found the meaning that you searched for so long. All hail Shadow, heroes rise again. Obliterating everything that's not your friend. Nothing can stop you now. No ghost to bring you down. When there's nothing left to lose, you win. Somewhere in chaos we all find ourselves. This destruction is the only tale we tell. White is black and black is white. Right is wrong and wrong is right. Nothing ever fills this hole inside your heart. Determination of the strong. Found the meaning that you searched for so long. All hail Shadow, heroes rise again. Obliterating everything that's not your friend. Nothing can stop you now. No ghost to bring you down. When there's nothing left to lose, you win.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome back, I say. What do I say? I say welcome back. That was All Hail Shadow, as requested by Young Sonic Fan from Shadow the Hedgehog. Followed up by Blood Falcon from F-Zero GX. Wrapping it up with Mr. Unsmiley, Sonic Adventure Music Experience version from the Sonic Adventure Music Experience album. Cool interpretation of that song. Mostly the same, but, you know, in more of a studio setting. It's nice. And yeah, hey, if you are a Nintendo Switch X2 NSO Expansion Pass member, you too can play F-Zero GX. Hey, guess what game my name comes from? Back in high school, I was a big fan of F-Zero GX. It's a good game. It's hard as nails. It's sometimes incredibly unfair, but it's also really good. But with that, I think we are just about ready to wrap up for the night. Thank you, everyone who sent in requests. Thank you, everyone who sent in questions. Thank you, everyone who tuned in live or is watching a VOD, be it on YouTube or on Twitch. Both are great, and we both love it. Thank you to everyone who is willing to forgive all of the technical issues that happened this time. I hope it does not impact future episodes. I will try to work out some of the kinks that was a pain in the butt tonight. We'll see how it works out. But we're going to wrap it up with one more track. We've been heavy on the Sonic X Shadow Generations tonight, which, I mean, it's a dark side story. Like, hey, dark side story in Sonic Adventure, dark side story in Sonic 06 is options, although we actually did not have much from that. But also, significantly, a dark side story from Sonic Generations. Should be good. Oh, yes, good point. Tomorrow, at 5 o'clock Eastern Time, SSF 1991 and I will be co-streaming the Summer Game Fest. Go check it out. It should be fun. It should be a fun time. Even if they don't have good announcements, hopefully there are good personalities on that stream that should make it fun. It'll just be right here on Twitch, and then probably on YouTube sometime later. I don't know how much later, but sometime later. Should be good. Let's wrap it up with some Sonic X Shadow Generations, ending tonight with the DLC track. It's Westopolis, a remix from Shadow the Hedgehog. Enjoy, and I will catch you guys next week. Peace out, y'all! What if we just... What if one more song? What if we one more songed? I think we could one more song. We could do a one more song. Here's a song. This is a song. I could play it right now. What if we just played this song? We could play it and it would be a song. Here's a song.
I'm proud to be me.
Give me chaos.
And my Robotnik team.
Give me chaos.
Those emeralds have messed with my head. I'm sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos instead.
Give me chaos.
I'm big, bad, and mean.
Give me chaos.
And my egomatic machine.
Give me chaos.
Those emeralds have messed with my head. I'm sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos instead. I'm the epitome of bad and all things gone wrong. Please listen to my story as I sing you this song. Sonic says I'm demented. He interferes with my plans. But with my Chaos Emeralds, I'll take over this land.
Give me chaos.
I'm proud to be me.
Give me chaos.
And my Robotnik team.
Give me chaos.
Those emeralds have messed with my head. I'm sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos instead. I know you love Sonic. Think he's a lovable guy. But I know he's a dumb one. On his rave, I don't buy. So just like all of you, Sonic and Tails are too nice. You know you should be more like me. Cold as ice.
Give me chaos.
I'm big, bad, and mean.
Give me chaos.
And my egomatic machine.
Give me chaos.
Those emeralds have messed with my head. I'm sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos instead. I'm more than a genius or a mad doctor. I'll show all you goodniks, and that Sally, I'll fix her. Just try and stop me and my formidable robots. You can't stop me now, cause I like chaos a lot.
Give me chaos. Give me chaos.
An awful lot.
Give me chaos.
Extremely fond of chaos.
Give me chaos.
It's powerful. So
Give me chaos.
I'm proud to be me.
Give me chaos.
And my Robotnik team.
Give me chaos.
Those emeralds have messed with my head.
Give me chaos.
Sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos
Give
instead.
me chaos.
I'm big, bad, and mean.
Chaos.
And my egomatic machine.
Give me chaos.
I'm sick of all this goodness. Give me chaos instead.